world boss like trains and like elite trains. Those are like, ugh.
I'm already
So
not
look at this fucking
super interested in
fucking
those.
mech fighting game, bro.
Iron
It
Slot.
actually looks so good.
Did they have to?
Hello.
Oh.
This is Rooflemonger, my friend.
I know that YouTube channel.
Oh yeah, this is like a very popular YouTuber.
This does actually look like I would enjoy it more than the one that Riot bought and canceled and turned into their own fighting game.
This looks like
It looks exactly like Super Robot Wars to me, but as a fighting game.
I'm trying to.
Like, that's crazy.
There was like a toy line or like a show. It was like one of the standard. It's not Gundam, but it was like another anime to toy. Metabots, is that it?
I love Metabots.
It does look a bit in that style, yes.
Yeah, it looks very Metabots to me.
Yeah, it's a little bit cartoony, I guess. It has a little bit of, like, cartoony playfulness.
Yeah.
It's not bad. I think it's cool.
Well, Varys, I don't think you like playing Super. Like, I know that your like main game is BlazBlue, but I still don't really understand why you like the game.
Because I feel like I like jump canceling everything possible. Every other input is jump. And I really like playing rushdown characters and then complaining about them. How bad they are. These two things make me very addicted to BlazBlue.
Oh, that's fair. Admittedly, the rushdown characters in the game are not very good.
Yes, especially
mostly because I don't super duper I just like playing gorillas, and the gorillas in that game are not especially fun to me.
Oh yeah,
I don't like playing Tagger.
No, gorilla. Tagger's not a gorilla.
Oh, okay. Do you mean like Azrael is kind of the gorilla type character? Is that his name?
Azrael is one of them.
I'm trying to think who else.
Is gorilla?
I was like who's like the ninja? Who's like the ninja?
Aang.
No, Hibiki.
Oh, okay.
Hibiki is also a gorilla.
Hibiki is a.
Oh
okay.
yeah.
What does this mean? What does the term mean?
It is like a character who like is like just does nothing but like sends like full offense all the time. It's not a rushdown character. You're just like
mix-ups.
I'm trying to mix you up, and I have no other plan other than trying to mix you up.
Okay.
So it's kind of like my Taukaka feels like that.
Yeah, I mean, so the character like Hibiki is just BlazBlue Anji, but the way Hibiki's like inputs work, they feel weird because they're back circles, like
yeah.
And doesn't feel very natural to me to like do that.
Also,
actually, I feel like Susano is
Susano is also a fucking gorilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate that character.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But he is also like just like a character with good normals too. He has very good normals.
I do
he's like I stand 3/4 of the screen away and I press heavy slash and I hit you oh, you jump at me, I jump and I press heavy slash, like, and then hopefully in like 35 seconds I've unlocked 9 seals and then I kill you.
It's so dumb.
Yeah, he's a fucking character for sure.
Anyway, Dylan, what were you gonna say?
I do like other fighting games that are very other totally different, not the same fighting games, like Under Night.
Under Night's good.
Under Night is a good game. It's a little too defensive for me though.
Oh yeah,
I dislike how good blocking is in that game.
that's fair.
I also dislike cute Guile. I hate cute Guile. She's so annoying.
That's
Oh,
fair.
is it the
Also.
red wing one?
Cute Guile, yes. That's her
Yeah, I
name.
love that character.
Yeah, she's annoying. They were like, what if cute girl held down back and killed you no matter what? And I'm like, how fucking dare you? In your game where blocking is really good and also like grabbing is bad. Unless you're like one of the 3 characters with good grab. I'm just like, no.
And also,
Why?
I like Grand Blue. Grand Blue fighting game is fun and actually quite a bit different than Blaze Blue.
Oh, DBVSR is so good.
Yeah.
I haven't played the like updated version. I only played the original Grand Blue.
The Rising is way better for offense. It's so good.
Yes, and has a lot more characters, as you could expect.
Yeah.
Well, all the DLC characters from Versus are just like base and Rising.
Yep.
And then
And then they have
they have added all of my favorite characters from the gacha, basically.
Huh.
They're like, Sandy, Vayne. I'm like, my husbands. They're right there.
Okay. How about all the non-fighting game players? How are you guys doing this week?
Good.
I thought you were gonna ask them what their favorite fighting game
A
is.
tale of souls and swords, eternally retold.
Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
Sarah plays Tekken. Like,
Shut off.
Oh, really?
she plays it with her husband sometimes.
Sometimes.
Guess what?
Game scares me.
Not
Oh, it's close.
frequently.
Nothing gets through.
I think the last fighting game I actually played was Mortal Kombat 10.
I have not played a Mortal Kombat since like the Super Nintendo ones.
Well, they were all basically the same until Mortal Kombat, the new one.
Right. There's the
Because the new one
reboot.
is like a super degenerate like team fighter. It's super sick. I love watching that game.
Different does
People just fucking explode.
different sounds appealing. I would try different.
From
People
what I've
hate
seen, it still is very Mortal Kombat and boring. But I just don't like. I don't like button to block.
That's fair.
Mm.
It's very anime fighter of you.
It
And
just
not
is super
very-
unintuitive.
It's super unintuitive if that's not what you're used to, I guess.
I was gonna say it's not very Evil Zone main of you, but I actually don't remember how blocking works in Evil Zone.
Evil Zone probably had button to block.
I think it
that's-
did.
I'm pretty
Like,
But
sure.
you never
those-
block in that game
All
anyway.
those old
Yeah.
fighting games had like hold button to block because they did not have the technology for well, Tekken actually you could like hold back and you would block, but it was also like holding back in any direction would block.
Right.
So you would like be walking backwards and someone would do a low on you and you would block.
Right.
Even if you're walking backwards, yeah. So
Do you see how I very skillfully maneuvered us out of the fighting game topic? Totally. Totally
I'm right back
effective.
into it.
you're so good at guiding conversations.
I always played Yoshimitsu in Soul Calibur because I like the fact that he's so like flippy dippy and nobody knows what he's doing, and that's what I max.
I would occasionally just pogo on his sword. Just to annoy people as much as
That
possible.
was
I
so
always-
cool.
I always tried to do the move where you kill yourself, but if you hit the other person, it kills them.
Oh, the seppuku. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can flip around. You can spin.
Yeah, we had a I worked at a movie theater in high school, and I knew the person who was running it at the time, and so they purposefully got a fighting game arcade machine.
Mhm.
And it was Tekken 3, and Yoshimitsu was in it, and you could do that.
Grrr.
And there would be times where like kids would come up to the counter and ask if any of us would play with them. And I would always do that to them.
You seppuku the kids?
Yeah.
That's TOS.
Not if you work at the movie theater, apparently.
Yeah.
No.
Rough down there.
Yeah.
That's the streets. Who knew?
Yeah.
In
Tis a lawless
Minnesota.
land.
It's out back the Apine, you can't fuck around.
Okay, who wants to give a recap?
Excellent question.
What even happened last time?
Dude,
So much.
No
so
clue.
much.
So much.
It's me pull up my notes. But I'll probably not give the recap
I'm actually
anyhow.
gonna use the restroom really quick.
Okay.
Dagnabbit!
Really quick.
I promise. I'll be right back.
All right, we're timing you.
Yep.
No, please don't.
Timer start. Alexa, please start a timer.
Pee your pants right now.
I suppose I can use this time to write a go live announcement since I just didn't do that.
We fought some bullets. We killed some bullets. They ran away. Turkon killed an additional bullet. We went into a church. It was pretty cool. It was a little timey-wimey. And I had a giant stethoscope.
A stethoscope? Is that what's in your notes? You put a stethoscope?
It let us look around the world. We found out the hallway in front of the stethoscope was actually imbued to figure out if stars were alive or dead.
Today I learned doctors are actually astronomers.
In this campaign, more likely than you'd think.
We found where our sword buddy's from, and also that their star's dead, and another star's dead, and now we're here, and they want to kill this star, and also the Seraph was born from a dead star.
Correct.
It's very lore heavy, so it's very hard to like summarize. But that's the gist of it.
Have a correction.
Is it about?
Better not be stethoscope.
That was going to be my question.
Actually, that's exactly. It is a stethoscope. The stethoscope works by like getting an arm and like shooting the end of the stethoscope onto a star, and like that's how you look at it.
Mhm.
Is the end of a stethoscope called a drum?
Maybe.
I
That
think
makes
so.
sense.
Yeah, that tracks. I'd approve that.
It's called a bell.
A bell. Okay.
Oh, even cuter.
That's dumb.
Well, you can call it a drum.
Wish they'd.
I will.
Okay, actually, I lied. Okay, so it's the thing. The ring is called the chest piece, and then the chest piece has a like sound-proof, like a material that like will vibrate.
Yes,
Oh.
That's called the diaphragm,
that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
inside of the like diaphragm is the bell.
Okay.
Oh.
Stethoscopes are complicated.
They have a lot of parts.
Apparently.
Ear tubes and tubing, stem. Some of them have non-chill rings. I don't know what that means.
Just so it's not cold when you press it on someone.
Oh.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
What was that actually your correction?
Well, I just wanted to say that it was a telescope and not a stethoscope.
I
It's
told
pretty
you.
important. It's pretty important. The distinction is pretty good, IMO.
All right, fair enough. Konnor, did you have anything to add? Anything you wanted covered desperately in the recap?
I think I'm okay.
Anything you want to deny that actually happened?
That's a new approach.
Yeah.
Why are you asking that?
Yeah, do you have a hypothesis of what he'll pick?
Did I do something? Did I deny that something happened?
I'm not. No, I'm asking if you want to deny if something happened.
Oh, okay.
It's going on the record, so it's very important.
Oh, okay. I'm going to deny that I was late.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
the hardest to.
Well,
Good thing we don't have.
I guess you can deny it, but we do have evidence, so sorry.
I'm just saying you gave me the opportunity.
Yeah. I just thought you would pick something else,
Not
but that's fine.
under ooth. It's fine if it's a.
You're always under oath.
Also, it's hard to deny when I didn't hear any of the recap.
Yeah. Well,
They gave it in the 3 minutes you were gone.
It's true. I was
Yeah.
very succinct.
And I think I'm like one of the few people a part of the game who doesn't always use like Bluetooth headphones that they can just still hear stuff.
I don't.
I thought you did.
No, sometimes in the middle of session, I'll just get up and piss, and I just miss like 2 minutes of session. You'll never know. So sometimes important stuff has happened in that 2 minutes, and I'm like,
So is there anything you want to deny happening?
No, why would I want to deny anything that happened?
Just, I figured I'd also offer you the chance.
I was just asking you if you wanted to, because I know, But no, why would I deny anything? I did that.
well.
I also have an addition. We
Yes.
learned that actually the 4 are not from Ayusip's world. They're from outside of our universe or whatever.
We don't know about universe, but definitely out of the planetary system there. Right?
From far away as fuck.
Yep.
And
Both of the stars that you looked at are from quite far away. They're both quite a distance. And are also separate worlds, yes.
Are they in our universe?
Uh,
Yeah, did you think about that?
I don't think Scene knows what a universe or a galaxy is, so
Out of everyone's scene, probably knows what a universe and galaxy is.
for some reason, I feel like that's just not true. You have lived underground your entire life. The fact that you know that stars are far away or possibly dead is crazy.
that is the kind of thing that would like spread around in metal bands, though.
Yeah. That's fully what Scene is basing his knowledge on. It's just like
It's just his knowledge of the information he's gotten from Metal Dance.
Uh-huh.
yeah, just music in general. Like
I
that's where
I will say in terms of like fantasy, I feel like most like if we're thinking of like Magic the Gathering and stuff like that, like Planeswalkers, I don't
Yes.
think you're going to a whole new universe. You're just going to a different planet, basically.
On the one hand, yes, kind of. On the other hand,
On the one hand, every plane is in a different. Is not a planet. They are technically entire planes of existence.
it definitely.
Yeah, but there's not one planet in every like they do. That's like saying that Earth is like the center of the universe, right?
Well,
Except that there are literally
it
centers.
is.
Oh my god.
There are literally intersections where all the planes connect and are connected and are separate and distinct.
What's that even mean?
Like, I'm just saying that there are places like Sigil that literally connect all the other planes of existence in Magic the Gathering. And they are completely separate planes. They're like literally like going to a different like universe in essence.
and there are planes that overlap the same planet. And are
well, also
just-
there are planes.
What does that even mean?
Like
There
the sh-
are also planes in Magic the Gathering that are like have their own unique star systems and stuff. So it's
I think it depends.
I mean, I think I understand what you're saying, but yeah.
This is ridiculous. I hate
I'm-
this. Let's play the game.
Oh,
That's a bad example because I've been like a Magic the Gathering player for like my entire life. So
so last time you guys had just finished stargazing.
we're squabbling over if we're gonna take the hourglass or not.
Yes, you were discussing whether to take the hourglass. Scene had gazed up at the sky and saw a flash of something unsettling. Like,
And now he's possibly insane.
yeah,
We
maybe.
don't know yet.
Will that story resolve before Scene gets replaced by an investigator? We don't know.
Hey, I mean, I don't know if that's gonna happen. I'm just saying. I was thinking about it.
Mhm.
Sounds like Varus is gonna make it happen.
Moto, you were turning into a robot. Are you still?
Yeah, my internet has like it's not happening. It's like not consistent,
Yeah. Okay.
but like every
Okay. Just checking. So
I was gonna say that insanity is a slow and insidious killer.
that's true.
Real.
Scene is gonna get forcibly removed from the campaign.
You guys are.
Or you could just play him as a totally insane madman.
True.
You guys are standing in the center room of this telescope. You're discussing whether to. You're really discussing what to do with this place. You were talking about taking the hourglass and leaving with it. You were talking about sealing this place up, or just closing it up and assuming that other people won't get in here, and like shutting down the investigation. These were all things being discussed, but I don't know that we hit a resolution when I slammed the book on closed the book on last session.
Pulled the
Slamming
plug.
book sounds more dramatic.
Pulled the book.
Pulled the book. There we go.
I think that we kind of just agreed that it seems pretty unlikely that like anything would happen if we left it here. I mean, what are they going to do? Look at the stars? You know? I don't know.
Yeah, I think we left on that if someone did get in here, Like, probably they wouldn't have the extra information that you had to find out the stuff that you found out. The addendum on that, Isha was pretty insistent on canceling the restoration on this place. And maybe bringing Resident the Taller with you? I don't recall the precise plan.
Nor do I.
Oh my god.
Yeah, we're gonna take Resident to Tamleoc because I think it would be safer than sending him like back this way, frankly.
Oh, yeah. The last note I have on my page is take Resden's brother with us.
Sounds about right.
Because we feel bad for him, right? Yep.
Why would I? I don't think we feel bad. Or you know.
Yeah, I don't really feel anything for this guy. He's just here, and we don't want to.
I mean, we can fucking leave him, but like, there's bullets out there, you know.
Yeah.
Only one. Wait, maybe two.
There's
amount
definitely
of
more.
bullets
There's
are
definitely more than one or two.
Because didn't he say that he had an escort coming in a couple days, or like a supply drop? I'm trying to.
I guess we could leave him here, but this is part of my plan to delay the restoration.
Oh, two birds, one stone.
Yeah, this is the kind of big drink that I'm into.
Mm-hmm.
So, is that pretty much the, is there anything else you guys would like to do here? Before taking off, I believe, Ogwyn had gone to find a suitable space large enough to jump everyone to Tamleoc.
Mm-hmm.
You mean Agawin?
You can mispronounce it however you like, Asha.
I mean, if people aren't against it, I would like to try to get the hourglass and test it out like outside the church just to see.
Certainly. I think Steris was interested in that too, which was part of her suggestion of us taking it with us.
I believe you're. Never mind. It's fine. Yeah, you can guys do whatever you want with it.
Heck yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it.
We go outside with the hourglass and we flip it over.
Okay.
And we specifically put Agwin and or the other guy outside of the bubble that we understand is there.
Okay. What does everyone else do?
Well,
Scene will
Steris
go
is
with.
him. Yeah.
I kind of want to stay outside the bubble, but at the same time, I want to go in the bubble.
Was a
I will
bubble
stand up.
described?
The guy, Resden, standing just outside the entryway.
Oh yeah. Okay,
got-
I see.
Got frozen.
I see how you guys could. I see how you guys could say bubble here. I don't know. He's just probably standing far away or something,
Menacingly.
I'll go stand
just
away.
glaring from the shadows.
Glaring from the shadows.
What was that, Turgon?
I'm away from it.
Oh, okay.
Glaring from the shadows.
Yes.
We're glaring from the same shadow.
Both of you. You're in the same shadow.
Glaring hungrily from the shadows.
Oh.
Okay. So no one stays in the room. Everyone goes outside.
It sounded well.
Some keep their distance, some do not.
Yes, but this happens all outside.
Yes. Okay. All right. So you flip the hourglass, and for a moment, it kind of seems like nothing happened. Like everyone just kind of blinks. You don't notice any time freezing or anything like that. You do notice after just a moment, that you like flipped it over, and all the sand almost looked like it teleported to the bottom.
Oh.
Like it blinked to the bottom of the hourglass.
This was when we're taking it, or
Just
earlier,
when you
or
flip
after?
it over.
When we flipped
Yeah.
it,
Oh, okay.
it seems it doesn't work outside the telescope room.
Yeah, the people standing close to it, the people standing far from it, no one notices any time distortion other than the hourglass draining instantaneously.
Well, that's no fun.
At least we ruled it out. I guess go put it back.
Yes, I suppose so. And any looks for what's our buddy's name?
We pronounce
Agawin.
Egg.
He's
No, not Agwin. The other guy.
Resident and Ogwin are effectively following you around.
Resden. Okay. Well, he doesn't know. He doesn't necessarily understand how to get in that room in the first place, right?
No.
Yeah, right. So while everyone's outside, I will go back in and replace the device.
Okay.
And flip it real fast to see if it works again. And
Oh
then
yeah, it works again.
Huh.
You like watch it kind of slowly drain. I don't know if there's anyone there to test it outside, but the view above does freeze and the stars stop twinkling like before.
Mhm.
Also, when you kind of like take your hand off of it, really you notice this kind of as you're walking, and you're like, my hand kind of stings. Go ahead and roll me 1d6.
What the heck?
You take 4 fire damage. Like this thing got a little bit hot when you first flipped it over outside.
When I flipped over outside? Oh, okay. Owie!
It's just the... Yeah, who knows?
You know.
I do.
That's a leading question, Your Honor.
When you are coming back out, just as Turris is coming back outside, you guys hear kind of the whinnying and neighing of horses from around the corner where you have left the cart and horses.
Oh yeah.
We should feed them.
It sounds a little more distressed
hasn't
than
been that
hungry, but
long. Oh.
Wait. No, we stowed them in Tursis Tower, actually.
I thought you rode them all the way here.
Yeah.
No. We did not do that, in fact.
You got the more rugged wagon.
We haven't
Wait.
been back to Tower Eincrad.
We have not, yeah.
All we said... no. Okay, that's fine.
2 sessions
You guys can do
ago, there was some discussion about getting to where the road turned and then stowing the horses and wagon because they wouldn't be good beyond the point where there was no road, but then you guys got the robust wagon provided by Ogwyn. Ogwyn's robust wagon. And I think that kind of canceled the plan to stow them. I don't think they've been stowed. I don't think you guys have drawn the door. And there was active discussion last time about leaving the horses and wagon around the corner when you investigated the bullets. So I believe you still have them. What would you guys like to do?
Stara's hearing the horses in distress. She'd go and try to see what's causing the commotion.
So you go to check it out, and you pretty quickly hear kind of like a hissing, growling sound, and then like the lurch of wood, and you come around the corner and you see the wagon's kind of like lurching forward. The horses are kind of in distress, freaking out a little bit, stamping and trying to kind of like get away from the wagon. And on top of the wagon, you see why. There's some of your whatever supplies you guys have stowed on top. Some of them have been a little bit torn into and tossed around. And standing on top of the pile is the 8-legged Arumvirax that you have run into some time ago. And maybe you've noticed little bits of food getting stolen, little bits of wagon wheel getting torn off. This guy has been following you for a little while.
There is no deeper insult to Turkon than food being stolen.
Go get him, buddy.
I knew they'd be back.
I charge.
No! They're a friend, not a foe. They're an ally. Clearly, that's why they're here.
Does this stay your stampede?
No.
Dagnabbit!
All right, so you charge the wagon. This thing is standing on top of it. What do you do when you charge?
I grab it by its neck and throw it down on the floor.
Go ahead and make a athletics check to grab it. I'll have a. Oh no, we'll see how it goes.
Also, actually, I'll be using my tail rather than my
Okay.
hands.
All right. That's a pretty good roll. So, you beat this thing's 27 DC for that. You do successfully like grab it with your tail from the top of this from the top of the wagon. It lets out a distressed noise, a distressed spit of its own as you yank it off the top. It's very heavy, so it's like you pull it over the edge and then it just thunks on the ground with all 200 pounds. Surprisingly heavy for being no bigger than, say, a large dog.
Because it's eating all of our food.
Well,
Lots of your metal as well. It does seem... The stuff that's gone missing is more like tent spikes and like rivets and nails. Almost more than like your rations, but some rations.
Okay, so he's less angry then.
He calms down when he sees it's not the food being eaten.
Yeah. I just look down at it and it's like, what now?
Yeah. With the Arumbrax tumbling off, so too does a pan with like some of the rim just like eaten off. Turris / everyone else, Turkan pulls the Arumbrax off the top of the wagon and now has it semi-subdued.
Semi-subdued. He's just slammed it to the ground. Steris will try to throw a Tanglevine at it.
Okay. A little bit of extra immobilization. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and that's an attack. Okay. See if it'll let you roll that without a target. Yeah.
Well,
Close
5's
to
not
18.
great.
Yeah, unfortunately, the Tanglevine misses slightly. It kind of like twists out of the way, and you tangle up one of the wagon wheels instead.
Whoop.
Sorry, my mom and my aunt came into my room and they were like, "Get the curtain down." And I was like, "What? Really? Right now?"
Right.
No problem. Turkan is wrestling with the. I don't know what you've missed, but Turkan is wrestling with the.
I know there's an Arumbrax like on the wagon.
It has been pulled off of the wagon with Turkan's tail, and Turris is distressed that Turkan is wrestling the Arumbrax. The Arumbrax is distressed that Turkan is wrestling
It's
the
being
Arumbrax
wrestled.
as well. Yes,
Yeah.
it's like trying to gnaw at the metal tail.
Okay. I guess I'm just watching my monkeys go crazy, I guess.
Rumi, no!
I think Steris was asleep when you were dealing with this Arumbrax last time. So I don't think she knows that you care about it.
Yeah, he
So
goes up. He goes up and he's like, Rumi, no, sit. It's okay, everyone. It's okay. This is a friend, not a foe.
Wait, this was the thing that like almost took Scene out in one hit, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
Fuck him up! Fuck him up, Scene!
Scene's gonna...
Fuck him up! I beam his ass!
Wait, we haven't rested since last session, right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay.
I'm still enlarged, by the way.
It probably has been more than a minute for the enlarge.
Well, 10 minutes.
10 minutes. I think it has still been more than 10 minutes as well.
It's been at least 5 minutes twice because
Yeah, there was some room searching and then a lot of stargazing.
so yeah.
Without any hesitation or fear, like after Turkan goes and just absolutely like slams this thing, Turris goes like up and tries to get between them, being like, no, it's fine, everything is okay.
I throw a punch.
This thing is like it's twisting its head back and forth and like gnawing at the tail and kind of like scratching at it with 2 legs. 4 more legs are just like trying to get grip on the ground. Turris walks up and he's like saying no. And the thing chills out.
Trying to keep it away from the tail.
The thing chills the Arumbrax chills out a little bit, and then Turkan, you like wind up and deck it.
Yeah.
What the heck? Are you being mean to my cat?
You can roll for that if you like. It will then try to escape your tail's grasp. It's a hit.
Turkon is fucking this thing up.
I'm just trying to knock it out.
Okay. we can do that. We can roll with that. It's you like punch it pretty good, and it kind of like stops trying to bite at your tail, and it's just looking like dazed. Kind of lets go of the tail with its mouth. Still kind of like squirming a little bit, but less directly like trying to bite a hole through the tail to let itself free. That will pause its effort to escape. Turris, would you like to do anything in response?
You definitely would just get between them and be like, stop, no, stop, it's fine, it's fine, it's a friend, it's a friend.
A friend since when?
Well, I met them in the forest. They came and they ate some stew with us. Well, you were all asleep at the time, but...
I didn't know my name was Stu.
And the Stu's back at the castle.
I think everyone here should fully understand that looks are deceiving and anything could be an ally. You just have to give it a chance. And I did. And it was. It was very pleasant.
How is it an ally when it's tearing through our gear?
Well, it definitely needs a little more training. However, with some proper care and kindness, I think that it'll be exactly what we need.
Yeah, how's the training going with your giant dragon thing that tried to kill us?
It's going very well, thank you. It's well, it hasn't eaten anyone.
Not that we know of.
It's been a while since we've been back at the tower.
It's keeping to its agreement.
Well, what kind of agreement do you have with this creature? Seems like it followed us for an easy meal.
Well, I think it was lonely and it missed us.
Interesting.
Yeah, nothing says I miss you like eating half of our stuff.
It's just a very large cat, you know.
No.
Charcon winds up for another punch.
Isha's like, no, I'm a very large cat. That is a wild animal.
Someone call you a wild animal, but here it is, all the same. You're not even giving it a chance. You're being the aggressors here.
Well, I'm not doing anything.
No, the aggressive move was eating our stuff.
He doesn't know any better.
I'm defending our caravan.
An important task.
Oh, give it a chance. It just needs to learn is all. This whole world is being upheaved by the Seraph. It's not its fault that these moonflowers are disrupting the ecosystem.
How dare you bring up the ecosystem?
We have a chance. We have a chance to do a good thing here for a good creature. It just doesn't know any better.
That's all that's been going through my head, by the way.
It's punching it over. Okay. How do you plan to tame it? Yisha has a point. It is a wild animal.
Well, everything is a wild animal at one point, right?
You weren't.
No.
Besides, we can't tame Isha.
I don't need to be tamed.
Exactly. We just simply trained it enough to fit in, just like Isha.
Again, not an animal. Not anymore.
do you mean anymore?
I don't know how else to say that again. I'm not a wild animal anymore.
I don't quite understand. However, this Rurath also doesn't need to be a wild animal anymore. Just needs time and care and effort.
Okay, well, that is fine. I'm gonna go find Agawin and leave, maybe.
He's standing like 10 feet behind you, watching this whole thing, looking very confused. And then you say that and you turn, and he kind of does a double take between you and the rest of the group. It's like, found a spot. Whenever you're prepared and done with whatever you've got going on here.
Take them to the spot.
Sure. And
I will observe it.
You will observe it. I'm gonna tape this.
I will
mess.
observe the spot.
he leads you just back to like an open, flat, smooth spot that he's cleared out in what kind of used to be the cathedral. He's just like cleared away a bunch of dust and like broken stone. And like etched a couple of marks in the ground.
Isha will begin observing.
Okay.
But obviously, I don't think Isha actually cares about whether or not we keep, like, whether or not they are Rumvarax is. Hopefully, it just doesn't try to kill one of them, you know? And
Yeah.
hopefully, if they do start fighting, it'll be loud enough that Isha will hear it.
Everyone back at the Rumvarax and the wagon and the horses. What do you do?
We continue to argue. Taking this with us, considering where we need to go and what we're trying to accomplish, doesn't make a lot of sense.
What do you mean?
Especially if it's not. Well, if it's not yet malleable in listening to us and not eating all of our things.
Oh, didn't get a chance, did it now?
It seems like it's had two.
Is there a cliff nearby?
You are in the bottom, the very bottom of an enormous bowl of dust. There are cliffs in sight. They are many miles away. and up. You would have to go. You'd have to climb up the cliff to throw something off the cliff.
I will never
So
enlarge you again if you do this.
So what is easy to do is you stand up, just grab this thing. Does it have a tail?
Yeah. Yeah.
Grab it
Long,
by
fluffy
its
tail.
Start spinning in
Very
circles.
grabbable. Oh my god.
Why are you doing this?
When you stand up and grab it, it will try to escape. It will immediately try to escape.
Oh god.
This makes me sad. I don't like this.
Not what your PC
You're
is.
gonna make Voraktee X card this scene.
I am legit like kind of sad about this actually.
We can pause.
This is like
Scene
one of my
is going
characters
to-
like things and like
I'm not against it.
And-
Table talk. I'm not against it coming with us. There has to be a plan
We
for how to
can-
control
We
it.
definitely table talk
yeah,
it.
but I don't
This
like
thing-
abusing it.
Correct.
No.
Fair.
I was trying to get it away from us.
What?
It's a monster. It's durable.
One sec. Can
It is stronger than literally any single one of
Scene will
you.
jump in.
Go ahead.
Yikes. Oh, Scene would like pull up his loot for a sec and be like, "Hey, can I get some advice?"
Now?
Yeah.
He's not talking to us.
How-
Yeah.
Oh.
No.
He's talking to.
Scene would
he's
like
talking
turn
to
his
flute. Oh,
Scene would turn his back to the situation.
I thought you were ready to give us accompaniment for this scene.
How can I help?
You think having a pet would make me more popular?
Oh, I thought you were going to ask if
Always.
she would just cast Dominate Animal on the animal, maybe. That would be useful here.
Of course it would.
What do you think about in a Rumvarax? I think that's what it's called.
In a Rumvarax. I don't know that I've seen one. What does it look like?
It's like a cat thing with like and Scene will like stop and count the legs. 8 legs.
Well,
Pretty cool.
see why not? You're kind like plenty of things with 8 legs.
Scene would nod. Do you have any recommendations for how we can get this thing to cool it?
I am awful with animals. My specialty lies in manipulating and winning the hearts of people, not creatures so much. Except for snakes and those that can be wooed by music or money.
Scene will nod. Can I make like a nature check to see if a Rumvrax or like this family of animals is like interested in music, or like can I think of any way to tame this thing?
The joke about it loving metal is a little too easy.
LOL.
You can roll a nature check for sure.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I probably should have had that hidden.
We've been rolling public this whole time.
I think you could you could come up with a tune that would be. It's not so much that I would necessarily enjoy the music, but like a certain rhythm with a certain type of material would be alluring,
Like-
and keep its attention.
Mm.
Okay.
Also, just to go back to table talk for a moment, this is a level 9 creature, and unless we're like reskinning some kind of class thing with like a pet kind of animal companion thing, probably this thing wouldn't follow you around. Totally fine with it helping at the tower or training it enough to send it on missions with some poor soul.
That's exactly how I see it personally. I'm not trying to abuse the idea that Turris is trying to like find creatures.
Yeah,
It's definitely more so of like filling the tower sort of a thing.
right. That is totally feasible and reasonable.
That's kind of what Scene is thinking, is he's trying to like figure out a way to calm this thing down enough to where maybe we can like push it through Turris's door.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally doable. Give me a go ahead and give me a performance check. There will be like a +2 circumstance bonus from this kind of setup with the nature check with this additional information that you've gotten. And if anyone else wants to aid with that, they
Yeah,
can.
do
If
you
want to
want-
list anyone for that?
I can.
Yeah, do you want a hidden roll?
For the performance check? No. It's either gonna
Okay.
work or it's not. Damn. And it's gonna work. So, you can start kind of like you talk to your lute for a second while this argument is going on. And then you kind of start like You have a lot of tendrils. You start like plucking out a tune on your lute, and at the same time you like pull out like a tea kettle from your mess kit. Maybe you're big on tea or coffee or something. I have no idea, but you grab that and you start kind of using it as just like a hi-hat and like tinking on it as you're playing the song.
Yeah.
And the Arumbrax that's been kind of like trying to wrestle with Turkon, trying not to be subdued, kind of like looks over and like pauses whatever it's doing at the time, and then its big, incredibly fluffy tail starts wagging around. And it's just like...
Y'all ever heard of binaural beats?
And it's just more or less dazed for a little while you're playing this.
Yeah, it's seen.
Yeah, while
for
it's-
an hour
while
while
it's
we get the door
dazed.
open.
Yeah, Scene has to play for an hour while Turris hurriedly.
Yeah, that's... Scene was gonna be like, Turris, how fast can you like get your door open, or like
Yeah, precisely 1 hour. I also.
what are the
don't-
chances I can keep this going for an hour?
For the sake of brevity, I think it's totally fine. Between
If you give it enough metal,
between snacks,
you can keep it like that for as long as you need, probably, assuming you don't run out of things to give it.
yeah, maybe there is a moment where it starts to get bored and you throw it like either a bit of your rations or like just a
Scene-
nail.
Scene would try to throw it. Scene would try to throw it a copper coin.
Okay. It definitely catches that and gnaws on it, and it'll just like settle down, kind of like balance the coin between its two front paws and like tilt its head to its side and start like gnawing on the side of the coin, kind of slowly, just like still staring at you while it's gnawing on the coin while you're performing.
It's thinking I could one
If it
shot him
gets
and then
bored
so
or
fast.
if it gets bored or it eats it, he's gonna throw it a silver coin.
Okay.
And same thing, if he eats that, he's gonna throw it a gold coin. He's trying to see if it likes a certain coin better.
Mostly you notice that it like tears through the gold one much faster on account of gold being much softer.
Okay.
But
I will actually subtract one from each of my.
okay.
You could say it doesn't have expensive taste.
It seems most taken with the silver.
Wait, I also throw it a platinum.
Oh,
All right, well now I have to check. It does like the platinum most of all, but silver is second.
Yeah.
And why not figure
Just
out
so you know,
last
I
one?
have removed the currency for each of those.
It likes gold the least.
Yeah. In that case, if I need to, I would just keep throwing it silver until depending on how long it takes and like how many silver coins that would be.
All right. Takes about 7 coins total, including the silver you already threw it. Well, I guess the 4 coins you already.
Okay.
It costs 3 more silver. Costs 3 more silver to keep its attention.
Okay.
And then the door is open.
I've subtracted that amount. And then Scene would like move over in through the door and kind of like lead it in with the music and also the coins.
All right.
He's out of silver. Well, he has 1 more silver, but then I have 4 more copper. So
Yeah. You guys get some attention as the
If
door opens and you arrive. There's some attention around the tower. Some folks kind of poking their heads out or stepping out into the yard, and you lead this 8-legged creature into the yard. Everyone is kind of like excited to see you guys, excited to see that you're alive, and then confused at the Arumbrags.
just bring it in and leave.
Literally, I'm like, this is a quick trip. We have places to be.
I think probably like Mudwretch is definitely in the yard. A couple of there it's probably like I'm not forgetting names. Probably like Katota and
Are they back from whatever we tasked them to do?
I don't know that you guys had tasks for them last time.
We did, but maybe I'm wrong. Bird.
I could be wrong. I guess I do see that. Oh, I think this is just old information. I see that Katota, Marcerina, and Nahia are all out, but that could be from their previous tasks. I'm not sure. There's a small collection. Like Luca and Stu happen to be in the yard for different reasons. Luca's working on some kind of lens. Stu is
Luca
sitting by the wall menacingly.
menacingly.
Actually, really, just kind of looking like a bench. A little bit wider than usual at the moment.
Luca is our mechanic dwarf, right? Bird. My God.
Yes, correct.
So the one thing that I'm gonna do, just to expedite this too, is especially because Luca's here, gonna say, tell Luca basically, feed this thing metal from your workshop every once in a while, and it'll be fine.
Right. Okay. I can do that. One moment. You received a delivery from the Giants.
Oh, splendid. What was it?
They said you would know. So.
Yes, of course I know.
He runs inside and grabs just like a kind of a bundled something. Kind of like a wide, flat object of some sort. It's totally wrong. That's not how that would be delivered. It's a tube. It's a bundled tube.
Oh.
It's kind of like maybe a scroll case.
Oh, yes. Take it. Open it up.
It is there's a note, pretty much just explaining, hey, this is the sketch of that huntsman's amulet, at least as best recollected by the innkeep in that village. And then you open up the sketch, the drawing, and it is kind of a sort of poorly drawn, kind of like diamond shape, sort of. I'm drawing this horribly. I need to actually try to draw this. It kind of looks a little bit like a 3/4 view of like a cube after a moment. Kind of like this diamond split into 3 sections, with some like intricate designs on each side.
Oh.
And it strikes you as a little bit familiar.
Can you remind me as to why?
I'm sure I will eventually.
Ah.
I'll let it stew for a moment.
Still.
No, that wasn't a... No.
I imagine Tourist is the only one. No, Scene and Tourist went through the door.
Yeah, and I think you guys are trying to get the wagon and the horses through as well. I think this was
Cart.
all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
And I guess I don't know if Ogwin has any idea that this is going on.
No, he's watching Isha observe the spot.
Okay.
Oh, I do so want to show Agwin my tower. Another time, though. Another time. So this role seems somewhat familiar, but not quite sure why.
Yeah, this shape. Yes, correct. Shape on the Huntsman's amulet does seem a little familiar.
Okay. I feel like Steris would have heard that it was the delivery from the Giants, and then she'd approached Tourist and asked to see what he had been given. Because we've been waiting on this drawing.
Oh yes, take a look.
She'll unroll the scroll and take a look.
Okay. Yeah. It does look kind of like this diamond shape. Again, with kind of these, it's split into 3 sections with intricate designs in each section. And then you too kind of realize that it's sort of like the 3/4 view of like a cube. Even though at first glance it doesn't really stick out to you as that. It just kind of looks like this diamond shape split into 3, but then it kind of resolves it as that cube shape for some reason.
After looking at it and kind of taking it in, Steris will tell Tourist that she's going to hold on to this, and she'll put it in her pack.
Oh, very well.
But we shouldn't dally here too long if we're trying to beat Regent and the others to Tamleoc.
I think that we have quite a head pace, don't we?
I think the sooner we get there, the better.
Yes, very well. Let's go.
Were we gonna try and use the Turris's tower to get closer to Tamleoc or
No,
something?
Ogwin was
No.
toward us.
Yeah, Ogwin has
Yeah,
that.
Oh, okay.
Agwin can summon us there.
Oh, okay.
So we'll take the time to move the horses here too. And the cart.
Oh yes, good idea. Look up!
He's like poking his head out the door as he was just entering it again. Yeah, yes.
We have another task here.
Very well. I will see what I can do. What is it?
We need somebody to take care of these horses.
I'm not... never really been excellent with... I'll try my best.
Well, if somebody else here at the tower is better at it, see that they take care of them.
Yes, I'll see if anyone well suited for it is afoot. I bet. I bet a Bahu knows horses, right?
It seems reasonable. They've been around for a while.
And he will kind of nod and try to take care of this. Anything else you would like to do while the door is open? We can kind of retcon stuff a little bit. We can retroactively do some tower stuff like after the session if you guys like. Also, this
What do you need a burgomaster at this point?
This is not the best, highest quality rendition of this, but just for a quick reference, a quick idea of what this sketch might look like. It is a bad sketch from an innkeeper, after all. Just keeping the verisimilitude of it, you know. That's generally what it looks like.
It's a Magic the Gathering plane chase die.
Wow. Wait, where is this?
In Discord, sorry.
Oh.
In the Monsters Save the World channel.
I'm really sad it's not one of those like S's.
Dude.
I know you said it was cut into 3 sections, but it would have been funny if you just would have done one of those weird S shapes that we all drew in elementary school.
True.
Oh my god.
You're not wrong.
As I was drawing this
Strange.
in my notes, that's what
It's
I was
not straight
thinking.
edge.
It would be
Oh.
it would be pretty funny if the huntsman was just walking around with the high school S.
Mm-hmm. Hmm.
So, I will assume for now that concludes the business that you guys have at the tower. And then I will ask if there's anything you'd like to do or discuss before jumping to Tamleoc.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, now that we don't have to worry about a little critter maiming us and or eating all of our gear. we're
Yes,
good.
we just have to worry about it maiming everyone at the tower.
Yeah, well,
It's going to be
Um,
fine.
Tara says it'll be
it's
fine.
it's mostly just hungry.
It's mostly just hungry.
I've made sure Luca will feed it ample metal snacks.
Why are you distracting Luca with things like feeding the Yorumbrax?
It's very important, of course.
It was simply the first person you saw.
No, I sought out Luca specifically, as he understands metals quite well.
Oh, I see.
I actually was gonna find Lucas specifically if he wasn't out there.
That's
It
so
just happened to work out.
He is probably one of the more reliable people at the tower.
Bless his heart.
The folks you can always count on. Luca, the mud wretch, and Apahu, the criminal.
Correct.
Okay, so
So we go to the spot.
yes, you gather. After waiting for an hour, Isha and Ogwin see you all kind of filter into the kind of toppled, worn
It
down
has been
cathedral.
total silence.
Yeah. Ogwin definitely is sitting over there, tapping his arm a little bit, kind of looking around. Everyone starts to. He has definitely not really tried to talk to you, Isha. Everyone starts to
I'm observing.
filter in. It's like, huh, we're ready to go. And stands up and kind of like walks to the center of all the marks that he's put on the floor, and he's like, well, I would like to gather around, make sure you are inside of this circle, and we will be off shortly. He kind of looks
This is a wonderful circle you made.
looks around, and he's like, Resident. It's just like shouts the guy's name a couple of times. He peeks his head from around the corner, and you hear kind of the door off to the telescope room sliding shut. That's right. Sorry, coming. And he'll make his way over. And then, once you are all gathered, Ogwin will kind of pull this necklace chain that's like hanging around his neck, but like tucked kind of like under the breastplate of his armor. Kind of pulls this chain out, and it's got what pretty much is he's got like this amulet. It looks very much just like a holy symbol that many clerics would have. But this one being kind of this sword shape. You don't get too long to observe and look at it before he kind of grasps it and starts a chant. In kind of like Lanovan language, kind of a regional language other than common. And the symbols around the circle start to light up, and there is this gust of swirling wind within the circle that kind of kicks up and blows past you, kicks up all the dust that's in this room. And you close your eyes for a moment, many of you anyway. Some of you aren't bothered by dust, as you are primarily made of dust and bone. But many of the rest of you, more ocularly oriented, have to kind of close your eyes as the dust swirls up. And by the time you open your eyes again, you see that you've been engulfed in this pillar of light that is extending into the sky above you. And then you see far to the northeast, kind of like peeking up over the wall, another pillar of light in the distance, a narrow blade kind of cutting through the sky. You feel almost like you were picked up by strings, connected to like your sternum and your shoulders, and you feel your feet being picked up off the ground. And some of you find your eyes drawn down toward the ground to see what the heck is going on. By the time your eyes find it, you feel this kind of lurching feeling, and then you are looking at a marbled floor with similar symbols to what you were just standing on. now smoking, your head kind of swimming. And in that instant, you now hear kind of voices echoing off of walls around you. Just kind of casually speaking, but with your head swimming, you cannot quite resolve what they are saying. And then I know it's a little early, but we'll take a break there, and then we will resume for the next long conversation in a moment.
Oh, okay.
Call it a 5-minute break.
Sounds good. Okay.
Okie dokie.
All right, catch you guys in 5. I'm back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. I've said this after like the last 3 sessions, but I'm gonna crash after this session.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
I'm here as well.
Julisa's trying to get us to move off Messenger and onto WhatsApp.
I just went through a whole thing with my friend group moving to Telegram off of Messenger because like
Oh my gosh.
Messenger was just stressing people out, including me, about various different things. Like
Yeah, it's been buggy.
it's just not sending me notifications anymore, and if it does, it's like hours late, and then I get a constant stream of notifications catching up on like hours of conversation.
Yep.
Like it was making me. It's a very active chat. It's kind of like my local friend group, and it's making me real stressed out trying to keep up when just it wasn't working. And then like I sent a fairly important message one day about something, and it didn't get delivered until literally a day and a half later. And one of my friends asked like,
Hey.
why'd you send that now? And I was like, what the fuck do you mean? So I pretty much had it with Messenger.
Some people just have it worse than me, I guess. Mine does
I
not.
feel like it's not that bad.
It's.
Sometimes it's like
I've never experienced having a message like send like a day later.
And me neither.
It's only
Like
that's
sometimes
only
it
happened to
doesn't
me
load.
once. The notification.
Sometimes it like doesn't load or refresh.
Yeah.
But I almost always get my notifications on time.
Getting notifications just doesn't fucking happen for me anymore, and I've tried like uninstalling and reinstalling it. I literally think it's just
Weird.
because our chat gets like sometimes 800 messages a day.
Holy.
So
Y'all are yapping.
yeah,
Yeah, but Sarah, you have to remember that they're a friend group that actually does stuff together all the time.
Oh.
we try. We go through phases.
I have so many group chats on
Yeah,
Messenger.
you go through phases where you guys play board games 4 nights a week for 3 months straight.
Yeah.
Though, like it's a little like your phases are different.
Our phases are different, but right now the phase is like Cora's grinding voice acting, and I am like slamming out this commission album, and you know, a lot of busy stuff right now.
I need this egg blanket toast immediately. I just keep looking at it.
Dude, it looks so good. It's like wrapped in the thinnest, like, egg. I don't even know what to call it. It's not like an omelet. I guess it could be considered a very...
It's called an egg blanket. I don't know.
I'm sorry. It's an egg blanket. You're
It's
so
an egg blanket.
right. The word the video described it as.
Let's see. Are we missing anyone yet? Still.
I don't
Missing anyone
I-
yet?
I don't think I heard anyone
Do-
else come back.
Do we yet miss party members?
I don't know if you guys heard, but I was back.
Yeah.
I heard I was here for the whole conversation.
Gotcha. That I
Bill's
caught.
like, I've been listening the entire time.
I thought I heard either Voraktee or Konnor make a noise in the middle of that conversation, but I think I'm lying. I think I'm totally lying.
Sarah, do we know is there anywhere in Bakersfield to get a souffle pancake?
Oh my god, that sounds good.
A souffle pancake?
Yeah, like one of those big ass pancakes that's like fucking
the
thick and
super
fluffy.
I
Yeah,
bet there is. I feel like if Bakersfield has anything, it's food.
we do have food.
Want to know one of the weird things about Australia?
Yeah, tell me.
Pancakes and waffles are dessert. They're not breakfast food.
That
They are
makes
dessert.
so much sense.
Technically they should be dessert, but
But they're not.
I'm back.
Ours with carb topping.
Well, it's more like sugar with sugar topping.
You're not, I mean, yeah, you're not wrong. Welcome back, Konnor.
Thank you.
But you go to like a ice cream shop and they sell waffles and pancakes.
I love like waffles with ice cream on them and stuff.
Mhm.
I love like dessert crepes. All of these things are wonderful.
The only place that sells like pancakes for breakfast is like McDonald's and
Yeah.
Burger King.
Yeah, right. Or like, I mean, diners do it. Oh, you're talking Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Then I
Oh my
have
god,
no idea.
there isn't anywhere to get them in Bakersfield. Shit.
Rip.
They might not
I
call
saw-
them that. Like, I've had those and they've been not called that.
It's okay. We probably don't have one. They're like, it's not the deal. I just was wondering, you know?
It looks
Maybe.
like there's one in Lancaster.
That's crazy. Lancaster? What the fuck?
Oh, wait.
Would you be shocked to learn that
Oh,
just
no.
random Minnesota places will have it?
That's wild.
What are we talking about?
Just enormous,
Souffle
Yeah.
pancakes.
big, thick, fluffy pancakes.
I just
Really?
want to. I just want.
I kind of thought that was like a
grab
normal
It.
breakfast
That's because we're from
thing.
a state that glorifies lumberjacks.
Yeah.
like half of our state identity is based on a lumberjack giant.
There's one in Fresno, Mitchell.
That's crazy. It's okay. They have them in Little Tokyo. I know that. So we can.
My
Next
brother
time we
wants to
go.
for his birthday.
Next time we go, we'll just like because they have them at the bakery there.
Oh, they do?
Yeah.
Oh. I feel like my students today, they're always like, I'm having trouble paying attention in class. And I'm like, man, I'm having trouble paying attention in class. Got me Googling souffle pancakes when I need to be preparing for the biggest lore dump of my life right now.
Oh, I had a student last Wednesday, and he's like, I feel like I'm not learning anything, teacher. I'm gonna go ahead and go today. So what the fuck?
This is not a good learning day for me. I'm gonna leave. You're not teaching
He
interesting
just
enough.
straight up insulted the teacher and said, I'm out.
So crazy.
Teacher's a good
Oh
guy.
my god.
These kids are crazy, dude.
I'm back.
Welcome
What
back.
happened?
Welcome back.
Uh,
Nothing. We're about to get lore dumped
yeah,
on.
lumberjack kids
We're
are
commenting on the
Rot.
state of the youth.
lumberjack kids are eating enormous pancakes and skipping class.
Yes,
The heck?
that about summarizes the conversation.
All right. So, as you are shaking off the dizziness of this sudden teleportation through this pillar of light, you again hear a voice. This time, a familiar one is kind of the light is clearing from your eyes, and you're starting to get a look at the circular room that you have landed in. And the voice is a familiar one, the one you haven't heard in nearly a month at this point. One of a grouchy Rurath saying, "Couldn't spare time for a warning." And then you hear Ogwin next to you, kind of, you like feel him clam up, and then hear him say, "Well, we had to depart at kind of sudden notice," he says, just flatly lying after spending an hour hanging out with Isha in Cathedral. As you, as they have their little back and forth, you look around the room, and it is a tall room, round or star-like, depending on which height you're looking at. It's mostly circular with a couple of alcoves, one of which you have landed inside of. The room is almost cathedral-like. There is a dais in one corner of the room, topped with a throne, at once simple and grand, made of solid stone. The familiar visage of Rurath is seated there, looking not at you, but at Ogwyn at the moment and then turning his attention back to a visitor that we will get to momentarily. You notice above him, hard to miss, kind of gleaming in the sunlight, filtering through the windows, there is a sword just hanging nearly directly above Rurath, suspended by chains. The throne itself is flanked by stained glass windows, 2 on either side, stretching to cover most of the height of this room. And then stretching forward from the throne, there is a path almost like what we'd see as a runway at like a fashion show almost, extending out from the dais, ending in a circular platform in the dead center of the room. There is a table built around this platform, just like built to the kind of just surround this platform. Made of kind of old, dark, but somewhat faded mahogany. Opposite the king, standing, not on the dais, but kind of next to the table on that level below, is a man in very polished armor, looks very well put together, kind of short hair with a little bit of like graying on the sides, a very like neat small mustache. The folks paying more attention with a keen eye can see some runes etched upon the breastplate of his half-plate armor, very similar to those that Ogwyn was activating in the fight against the bullets. He kind of like he was watching this back and forth between Rurath and Ogwyn, and after a moment he kind of looks to the king and says, shall we finish this later? Such sensitive matters, having outsiders in the eaves is hardly... And then he gets cut off by Rurath, saying, I believe that I bade you continue, Captain Drewib. Their bouts of unrefined chaos have proven beneficial to me thrice already. And then after a moment, this fellow apparently named Drewib says, very well, sir. And he will continue giving whatever briefing he was giving. You can feel free to interrupt at any time. Rurath is content to ignore you until Drewib is finished, though. Seems like he was mid-discussion with this rune knight. Appears to be maybe the guard captain. And Drewib continues saying, missive has arrived from Tamleoc. The messenger and her small entourage were taken into custody just yesterday eve. Given the news from Valen today, I had them moved to the brig and their belongings confiscated. She had this on her, and he kind of sets an envelope, a folded message with a green seal on it, sets it kind of on the table. Then he continues saying, holds news that Valen has already passed to us, but... And Rurath starts to mage hand the note up to where he's sitting on the throne, starts floating through the air to him. And then he opens it up and reads it. And he says, Declaration of war. And then Drewib says, she didn't seem to know what she carried. Only I have read the message. I did not think it prudent to inform her what she carried just yet, or to brief the other men. We have not made this public knowledge, of course. And then Rurath sighs, and then after a moment says, very well. Hold her for now. Perhaps we'll move her back to guest quarters in a week. Watch them keenly. I will find some time to meet with them. And then we will see what to do with them. And then Drewib says, yes, sir. One more thing. She was Queen's Guard. And then Rurath kind of gives him a curious look, then nods. As the order stands. You're dismissed. And then Drewib turns. Says, yes, sir, Ogwyn. And then kind of gives the party a look, clearly uncomfortable at the audience, but then turns and leaves.
Hello.
He pauses long enough to give a curt, somewhat polite nod, addressing your presence, no idea who the fuck you are, before continuing out of the room. And then, once the door is closed, Rurath will turn to you, and just to give an idea of what the room looks like, have this made up, just in case. Let me know if you can see this. I don't know if it'll be... Yeah, it's dark without... Okay, one moment. Boom.
Ooh.
And I suppose... No, like I said, just to give an idea of the room. Anyway, and then Rurath will turn to all of you and kind of nod to you and say, apologies for the wait. If I recall from a couple of days ago, you had some important discussion you wanted to have with me. Important enough to burn... to use a very valuable resource and burn that spell to return you all here.
Oh yes, fate of the world and all that.
Quite. Has it gotten that serious already?
Already? What do you mean?
Just trying to gauge what you know. Gauge where things stand.
Turris kind of looks to the rest of the group, and especially at Isha at the moment.
I don't particularly know why you're looking at Isha. You could help inform me a little bit here, I guess.
Turris sometimes thinks that Isha has wizened beyond their years.
Oh.
And has a grasp of the larger scale of things, I suppose.
I do, but I also... Isha loves convenience. So... If... I guess Isha will, obviously inform, Rurath about Regent and his small party, but even if he already knows that, then that is fine.
If they are on their way, they have not found their way here as of yet.
We are ahead of them by about a day.
Gives a nod. Says, suppose we will expect their arrival then. Do you have a suggestion of how to deal with them?
I believe that we only need to deal with the construct. The others are flesh and blood, easy enough to deal with and easy to sway. Maybe.
He kind of looks thoughtful for a moment and then nods. And he says, So, you would prefer if this construct was removed?
He intends to meet with you personally. Surely there is a place for you to meet your people in public that is not here.
Does meeting them in...
Isha kind of, I guess Isha kind of like squirms her way through because she's fucking behind everyone right now.
Do you think that meeting in private would embolden them? I think they wish me assassinated.
I do not know what they wish for you.
Thanks for a moment and nods again.
At face value, they seek to turn your forces to ally with the Seraph for some reason.
Considers that a moment. That seems a stretch for them to hope for, but I do not see another reason they would come this far.
I do not intend to try and predict their movements. As of now, I simply wish to see Regent removed.
You might have valuable information, though.
What of this Regent's entourage? You say they are flesh and blood, easy enough to deal with, but are they formidable in their own right?
I do not know.
I would think so, considering what we knew about them.
Well, one of them maybe, but the other I'm not sure. You could say that one of them is the dark reflection of this one.
Tron looks over himself and he's like, I'm dark, though.
Ruth kind of nods.
And a Drider, I believe, right?
Dean would nod. Or, yeah.
Does not sound the most difficult to deal with. If I can capture this regent, I will try to do so.
I fully intended for us to be there when you met with him.
I see. Worried about my safety?
No. Although I have seen you in situations that maybe you should not be yourself in, so...
You have seen me somewhat compromised, that is true.
Perhaps it is better to play it safe, and I was with you regardless.
He nods. Thinks that over for a moment. You might be a... If they have some sort of plan, having you present might be a surprise that they do not have plans for. That could work in our favor. It's reasonable enough to me.
I have one other matter.
And what would that be? Have you come to enlist in my forces after all?
No. Well, not me personally. Maybe my companions would join you. However, there's... maybe a troubling matter. This Seraph is aware of the refurbishing to the Churches of the Four. And I believe that it is possible that you're... I don't know what the word you would use to describe this person is. Your messenger?
Sorry, what was that, Sarah?
Oh, I was trying to find the word. Restorators?
Ah.
Is that what we're calling them?
No, because this is about Julia. This is about the person who is in control, who like talks to all the governors. This is not about Redston.
Okay.
Right.
Surely there are other ways, but it is... If the Seraph has compromised someone who is this close to you, then it is imperative that it is removed.
He kind of narrows his gaze a little bit. Thinks for a moment, and then he says, "Do you have some evidence for this hunch of yours?"
Just that the Seraph knew it all is enough of a hunch for me.
Why are you seeking to restore the churches in the first place?
He kind of takes some, still kind of almost glaring at Isha, and then kind of relaxes a little bit, and then turns his attention to you, Turris. He says, We have turned away from the Four. These monsters with divine power have started cropping up around the world in their absence. Now ancient enemies we knew nothing about have appeared, claiming to seek them. It is my belief that we need the Four to keep this world safe. We need to do everything that we can to reach them, to find out how to free them.
The Four failed before. That is why we're in this mess now.
And what hope do we have without the knowledge that they gained from that failure? Tackling this on our own.
How do you know they have any knowledge at all?
Kind of like narrows his gaze at you again. Isha, looking increasingly annoyed with Isha, really, says. Simply says, they must.
Understandable. But we have nothing new to report to you. Other than that,
He nods. As for Julia, I will take the warning into consideration, but she is trusted. I will take precautions, but you need not worry yourself with this matter further.
of course.
That is all. Ogwyn, thank you for bringing them here to deliver these tidings. I assume you have nothing else to report yourself. And Ogwyn, after a moment, is like, no, sir. I can come back for a briefing if, and Rurath kind of waves them off. No, that will be fine. If that is all, you are dismissed. Ogwyn will kind of nod, take a half step, and look at all of you, and then carry on towards the door.
Yeah, Isha will follow.
Okay. All right. And then Ogwyn will lead you out of this castle. Very tall hallways, relatively kind of Spartan castle. There's not like a ton of decorations around, just kind of like imposing marbled stone, old hallways. Then he leads you out of the castle, and it is a slightly different story outside. Many of the buildings are fairly like kind of the main section of town is made up of fairly tall, relatively tall, like 3-story, 4-story buildings, with kind of like finely tiled roofs. There's kind of like, you can see from the elevated position of the castle that this is kind of like, this whole town is kind of built up toward the slope of a rather imposing mountain that kind of juts suddenly up from the back of this, the keep in particular, but also of this town. The wall kind of goes. There's a walled section of town that kind of circles the castle, and then the town kind of like sprawls after that a little bit. Up on the hillsides, there's like trees kind of dotting the landscape, but then out past town, it's just all clear plains, pretty much as far as the eye can see down this valley. Yeah. As Ogwyn is leading you out of the castle, gestures at the town in front of him and says, behold, Tamleoc. It's nice.
It's wretched.
It is rather closed in for my tastes as well. rather built up. Rather.
Is there somewhere we can find rooms, perhaps?
Of course. I am sure that I could find some barracks that I could requisition rooms in, but it will not be terribly comfortable. There is a terribly comfortable, hobnobby, high-end inn near the castle, of course, in this district of town. And then
I would prefer somewhere farther away. No offense.
He, like, relaxes when you say that. And then he says, there are roadside inns, taverns for the common folk. Several to choose from outside of the walled district.
We could always go home.
Yes, that is something we can certainly do, tourists. We just need somewhere to put the door, and I do not want the king to have full access to it. No offense.
Well, why don't we simply find one of these more humble taverns and rent a single room? And we can put the door there.
That will work perfectly.
Wondrous.
No, does this have something to do with that trick with the horses?
Yes. It has everything to do with the trick with the horses.
I don't.
I lean in real close to Egg and I say, I hide them in my hat.
You don't do. Has he seen?
Do you have a hat on?
Do you wear a hat?
I do not. I do not.
He like looks up at your head and then like tilts his head to like look at your side, like trying to see if you have like a hat tied to your bag or something. It's like I'm sorry. Your hat. Where do you stow your hat away?
You don't
I just
want to
look
know
at him.
that one.
He hears Isha say that, and then he's staring like at Turkon, and then like past Turkon. Then he nods, and he's like, "I should stop asking questions around you lot."
I think questions are quite important.
There are downsides to curiosity. Let's find you that inn, and he'll start leading the way. And after a couple of minutes, there's kind of a he leads you to kind of a rowdy tavern.
I guess along the way, I kind of noticing that Agwin is like kind of cagey.
Oh, Sarah.
We just
that's
lost
weird.
Sarah.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can
He's like kind of cagey about Rurath. So Isha will like kind of pursue a line of questioning. It's like, I understand that we may have done something wrong by using your emergency spell, but it seems that there is maybe something else troubling you.
Well, if there was some offense to that, I am sure it is not permanent. Our liege appreciates my skills and what I contribute to his team of Rune Knights, but he does perhaps, I believe, find me a bit flippant.
A rogue agent, I see.
How fun!
He almost like he almost bristles a little bit, almost looks a little bit uncomfortable when you label it that. But he kind of, after a moment, kind of does this circular nod, and he's like, he might agree with that phrasing, I suppose.
I certainly would if I were in his position. It's
Scene
not a
will
bad-
say hell yeah when Isha says
It's not a bad thing. I believe that everyone should have their own code that they follow.
Well,
If you are useful to Rurath, then that is all that matters.
I suppose most days I would agree with you. Days where I'm in Tamleoc, perhaps it is harder to convince myself.
I'm sure we can get you out of Tamleoc more if that's what you wanted.
He like scoffs and grins, and it's like, that's funny. I didn't know you joked.
I'm quite good at it, in fact.
Underappreciated talent. I will have to keep an ear out for more of those.
And I guess as we're sort of arriving to our inn, Isha will be like, you don't intend us spying on us, do you? I plan on doing things that I don't think that your king would believe that are good for the realm, as it were.
Kind of squints at you, and he's like, I have not been instructed to actively report on your coming and goings, your activities. He seems to appreciate something of how you all carry yourselves. Seems to trust something there.
Rogue agents acting in good faith.
He nods.
Just like you.
And then after a moment, he's like, I would... If I saw activities that I deemed perhaps harmful to the nation, I probably would feel compelled to discuss them.
Well, then I will pray that you simply do not see them at all.
Oh,
gives-
she's overreacting. It'll be fine.
He gives kind of a slow nod, kind of to both of you, and then says, well, you seem adept at giving me the slip at appropriate times, so I suppose I will trust in that continued capability as well. And worry nothing of it further.
It's for the best.
He nods. And then he'll kind of like push into this this rowdy tavern that he has led you to, called the Valley Oasis. And you will kind of like saunter up to the bar. Has like a, I don't know if anyone follows him too closely, but he has a fairly familiar, fairly friendly conversation with the current tender there, and after a couple of moments comes back with a singular key, and then hands it I don't know, really to whoever's closest. You notice that the bartender looks like catches Ogwyn coming over and giving this singular key to this group of 6 individuals, if we're including Armis, and looks very confused at this apparent group of 7 people splitting a key, a singular not large
What
room.
the fuck was the name of the inn? Holy fuck. My brain was like, I was writing it down. I was like, I just forgot it.
The Valley Oasis.
Okay, thank you. I guess Isha will mage hand it to Aincrad.
Okay. Proceed to the room.
All right. Well, shuffle in. I suppose. Yeah, you guys. I'll shuffle into the single bed, small room that was acquired, and Ogwyn watches with briefly rapt attention as you start to draw the door in the room, and then he'll get bored and pay attention to something else.
Maybe one day this won't take 1 hour. Maybe.
Will you join us seeing the tower again? Wait, he's never seen it, right?
Correct. He's never seen
Nope.
Oh, okay. I was like, you should see it. Just once.
it. Sure, it sounds interesting. You guys have made it sound like such an experience. It looks confused at Turris, saying like sharing yourself and whatnot.
Yes, I'd love for you to see the real me.
Hey, V, have you used? Can I use your pre-present planner feat real quick?
Sure.
I mean, you have an hour. You could just go buy something. Like,
Well, it's not a thing that would be around in the part. I was trying to see if you could get me another Shatar board. Since I left that one at the shrine.
Oh.
So I wanted to challenge Egg to a game.
I knew you'd want another one of these.
Excellent. Okay. So I guess we pull it out of Aincrad's bag. I set it down on the floor and I look at Egwin.
Interesting. Don't believe I've seen this game.
do you mind, Turkon, if I assist him?
Go right ahead. It's got a very simple layout, akin to like checkers.
Got you.
But something happens every time a piece is taken.
Oh. Right.
It's a very Minotaur thing.
Okay. Let's see. I don't know what skill to even roll for like games and stuff. I suppose it kind of. Well, no, I just don't know. Some games deception
I know
makes
what I would
sense. What are you rolling?
I believe he has a skill.
Warfare is.
Warfare,
Yeah.
yeah.
Warfare.
I suppose he'll roll deception.
Is there an argument to make that this game is a puzzle in a way?
Yeah, I would say probably. You can come at it from that angle.
I will use my riddle lore
Oh,
to solve a puzzle.
there goes.
Steris has some problems today.
Yeah. Yeah. We'll see where we get. We can have some messing around for now. Okay. So you're assisting him to solve the riddle of the puzzle. So in the early part of the game, with some of Isha's help, he is kind of continually seemingly like using the fact that you know that he's new at the game to like bait you into bad moves, like masking bad moves as well, he's just masking luring you in with bad moves and then punishing them effectively. And that seems to be kind of his whole strategy. The only thing he's really like getting you with, like the kind of basic fundamentals aren't necessarily very good, but he's being very tricky. And what happens every time you take a piece?
Well, who took the first piece?
I think he. Well, technically, I guess you did.
Okay. So I grab him by the shoulders. I look right into his eyes, and then I headbutt him.
That's my horse.
Seeing this, just immediately, like, what the fuck?
I didn't mean to make that a secret, but yeah.
You hit him. He's like, so when you take the first piece, he's like, set up this bait. He's like, John, you've taken my, and then you just grab him and he looks up at you confused, and then you go to headbutt him. And his eyes go a little bit wide, and then there is a delay consequences that goes off from Isha. So you just headbutt like sand for a moment.
I cough and sputter a little bit.
And Agua just blinks.
Isha is glaring at you.
See, the whole point of Shatar is, it's a very simple game, but you have to have the fortitude to hold out.
So, the moment immediately after that is Ogwin looking very confused and then reach it like...
Hold on, I'm gonna do this.
Okay.
It's not a lot, but it's...
And of course, I'm not trying to kill him.
Yeah.
Oh.
7, 9, 11. Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
So I'm not gonna roll for damage. I just rolled the hit.
Okay. So you headbutt him, and again his forehead kind of like melts into sand for a moment from the delay consequences, and he looks very confused, and you're probably a little confused. And then this temporal buffer kind of like
I would assume, since I've been the target of that spell so many times, I would know what it is.
Yeah, you probably immediately know what's happening. It's your first time hitting something affected by it, but you've been the subject of it many times. And then Isha casts this next spell on him, and he's looking very confused. And then suddenly, just like a shine... There's a shine from the impact with this temporal buffer, and then he lets out a yelp as he just gets like toppled off of his chair and like kind of catches himself kind of stumbling to the ground, and then he's like, I need a quick clear up on some of the rules here.
Just looking at him, like, cock my head, like, what do you mean?
I suppose it is. I suppose it is fairly easy to understand. Take a piece, you get a swing, and he goes to sit himself back down in the chair, and then he like looks at Isha kind of confused. He's like, "Are spells usually part of this game? Is that fair play? I don't."
They are when. I feel like the rules were not actually explained to you.
You have to learn by playing, not by explaining.
Ah. Very well. So then he goes on to take like the next two pieces from his bait move.
Mhm.
He doesn't know if he can hit you any other way, so he will just brace himself to headbutt you both times, and then the second time it like shakes his head, seems kind of dizzy. Seems
No offense, Turkon, but this is not a game designed for humans.
no, it's fine. I have a couple of He like rubs his head a little bit. My skull is definitely not, perhaps, as
Maybe another day you can play Shatar. When he is more equipped. Perhaps with a helmet.
let's
Tarkon looks a little sad, but understanding.
go for a couple more rounds. Before we make that determination.
I will not heal you when you give yourself a concussion.
It'll be fine. I'm sure it'll be fine. I can handle it. In a couple more rounds will go by. He will continue to have the edge for a little while. He'll continue to lose pieces to you for a little while. The next couple of times that he loses a piece, he will first cast Wooden Double as a reaction to replace himself with just a log. When you go to headbutt him, you'll headbutt a log once.
Okay.
And then for a minute, the next time he loses a piece, he will make it a little harder to aim the headbutts. And then he ends up like taking a horn once instead of a forehead and decides to dismiss the spell. And then
That's one of the reasons why he would grab, you grab the other person.
right. And then I think shortly after that he concedes, even though he has an edge in the game. After a couple more headbutts, he's like, that's I believe that I lose. I believe that's where I'm getting a little bit dizzy. And if we have visitors in the next day or two, meeting with the king, then I should be sharp. We should try this again some other time.
Grins and just like nods enthusiastically.
Concede defeat. You are excellent at the finer points of this game.
Holds out a big meaty hand.
Will vigorously shake your hand, and sometime shortly after that, the door to the tower will be finished, and you guys will all be able to pass through. And he will look with he's seen plenty of magic.
Dean would.
Go ahead.
Sorry, you go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, Scene would wait for Ogwyn to walk in, and as Ogwyn is passing by him, he'd like put his hand up in like the like rock on like sign or whatever, and be like, "Rock on, rogue agent."
He'll look not sure how to take that, and then he'll nod to you. He'll give a conflicted nod, and then kind of like look at the door, kind of appraising its magical kind of effects. He's seen plenty of magic, but he's not actually a practitioner of magic, so he's a little awestruck by it, and he will step through. Stumble just a little bit at that initial kind of bout of vertigo that accompanies this form of travel, if you will. And kind of takes that off after a moment. She's like, that is much more pleasant than Rurath's beacons, if I'm being honest. Oh my. And kind of like looks up at the tower.
Yeah. So while this is happening, Isha has just sprinted ahead
Okay.
to find a Pahu and Acilia.
All right. Excellent. So,
Yeah, because I know that Turris is just gonna he's gonna basically be monologuing to.
yes.
I'm glad that we can finally meet in person.
What? What do you mean?
Well, you finally have met me.
He kind of like looks at the tower and then back to you. His brows a little furrowed, and he's like, I suppose it can be said that you do not know the heart until you know the home.
It's quite the opposite, actually.
His heart is in the home.
You've never seen anyone. You've never seen a humanoid blink like resemble one of Cinevoxion's blinks so heavily. This one does just a very slow, singular blink as he tries to like process what you're saying. It's like, well, it is good to come to know you better.
Yes, let me show you around.
Where Ogwen is not an intelligent man, he is a well-spoken one. And we'll follow you around for the tour. Isha, when you go... Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I think Turris would like kind of show him around the safe floors and kind of explain that he is the tower and the tower is him. And when able, if possible, like, kind of use his ability to manipulate the doors and things like that.
Yeah, he will start to kind of look like he's understanding it more. But he kind of continues asking questions in this very humanoid-centric way of just being like, so when did you become tied to this tower in this way? Like,
it's completely opposite. I've always been the tower. I've only been me for a month or two now.
Right. So, and he pretty much just keeps asking questions that suggest that he's not quite getting it. Like he's almost there. He's not quite getting it. Like he knows what you're saying. He just can't wrap his head around it. Eventually he will kind of go and find his horse that you guys brought through earlier, and tend to it a little bit. Make sure it has some high quality feed, and that it is fine in this environment. He does kind of look around at everything with awe. He's very impressed by you manipulating the tower, kind of with your mind. And approves of all of the facilities that you show him, such as the stables and the barracks and everything. He finds it very what's the word? Convenience, not the word.
Novel.
almost not. Like, he finds the situation novel, though he does not use those words, but he kind of like nods approvingly at the practicality of some of the things that are there and present, and fueling your endeavors and the followers that you have acquired. Isha, when you go looking for Asilia and Apahu, in the kind of main entryway, actually probably speaking to Apahu, you find a kind of familiar catfolk. The new addition / new visitor / something is seated there, having a drink, talking with Apahu when you enter, and they kind of like look over and kind of look surprised when they recognize you. I don't know how much effort you will put into recognizing them, but they kind of give you like a sort of stunned nod. Not even overly stunned, just like surprised.
Yeah, as I guess I'm approaching. A new friend, Apahu?
Yes, well, they seem to have found their way here of their own accord.
They seek the light.
Apahu, who does not understand what you have done to the tower, kind of shrugs and says, I suppose so. They said they noticed some kind of beacon guiding them here. They said they were a guard in Monteclana and fled when they saw when their king was labeled as some kind of traitor. They decided to depart. And the catfolk kind of nods. Says, yes, I believe I tried... I believe I was part of the group that tried to arrest your group outside of Oriel's home.
Oh. Maybe. I'm sorry if I don't recognize you. It's nothing personal.
Fine. We had not spoken. I am just a...
Well, it is no matter. Make yourself at home here.
She kind of nods and... like,
this is not my tower. The master of the tower should be in here soon. He's giving a tour to a new friend of ours.
Yeah, she'll nod. And after a moment, well, I guess it looks like she wants to kind of say more. She looks apprehensive and like, I don't know, they kind of grow shy almost, and then just kind of nod. And
if you have something to say, you can say it. It is just fine. Nothing was ever gained from no one saying anything.
it just feels like dumb curiosity. It felt like my people had this silly story that my mother tried to teach me about what is the short version? Our people used to kind of rule the central valley of the Valley March.
I'm quite familiar with it, yes.
Right. Well, there was a story that a sphinx brought the sun to the valley and brought prosperity. It just felt strange to try to arrest the sphinx. Felt like bad luck, kind of.
It might have been.
I never got to apologize.
Yeah, there's no need to apologize for doing your job.
She nods after a moment. Then a moment later, and she's like, hopefully I can all the same do something here to help to make amends for that mistake.
I'm sure that there's plenty that we can find for you to do.
She'll nod again and then kind of excuse herself so you can have a pahu.
Okay. As the guard is walking away, Isha kind of turns and is like, you never introduced yourself.
Right. Sorry. My name is Sandra.
Nice to meet you, Sandra.
She nods. Like, no last name. My mother was of the Gondaman tribe, so I suppose I'm Sandra of the... Never mind.
No, this is important to me.
She'll nod, and then she'll say, well, I am Sandra of the Gondaman, I suppose, but the only Gondaman I have ever met are my mother and my father, so it feels silly to take that as my name. That is my name.
Your name is important, Sandra of the Gondaman.
Kind of seem like she's, I don't know how to put it, like struck by that a little bit. Just kind of like almost takes it as fact immediately. It just kind of nods again. Very well.
Do not downplay the importance of names. They hold much power within them. You may refer to me as Isha, or if you would like the name that was given to me, I will give it to you.
I think that I would.
My given name is Isha Malayal.
It is wonderful to meet you. Shalmalayal?
Indeed.
She'll give another nod, and then like feeling and looking more assured and less skittish, she'll turn and continue leaving.
As she is walking away, Isha says, "Light guide you."
It's already brought me here.
It will continue to do so. And then she'll turn with the pahu and walk away.
Okay.
Where is Asilia?
I believe that she was perusing the library last I saw.
I have jobs for both of you.
Oh, excellent. It will
You won't believe where we are. And she'll basically recount the entire tale of from that Lake City to now.
Okay. He will It's interesting. Yeah, he's very much like looks very impressed by the whole story. It's like there was a telescope in the plateau. It's all
Built
that.
into it. Insane. I have never seen such a thing in all of my years. And there are many of them.
Many such things.
It
many
did feel
years.
like they were. I have read stories about how some of the elders used to be able to pull the sky down to you. It seemed kind of like they were copying that trick, but I believe that those tricks are long gone.
Many of them, perhaps. I have a friend who has this trick of... You know, there are like holes and you wouldn't think a hole would go anywhere, but then he pulls up this hole, and then you walk through it, and then on the other side of the hole there is another place.
That is true. It is possible. Maybe we can refine such a trick.
Nods. And that is all on the other side of that door.
True. And I guess when we find Acilia, I sit them both down, and I'm like, we have shit to do.
Right. They will both be seated and hear whatever task you have for them.
Apahu, I need you to find someone to take care of these horses. I cannot have... I'm in the Rumvarax. There's a giant cat here, and I know that Luca is watching it, but I need Luca on his original task.
Luca has seemed especially stressed in the last 6 hours.
So I'm not going to... Simply, if you can find someone who is capable of dealing with the creature, that is good enough for me. But we need a stable master.
I will see what I can find.
And Isha will move to dismiss him, because I don't know if Apahu really cares about the religion stuff, but Acilia has been Acilia is I guess Isha will turn to Acilia and be like, my herald.
She will shift a little bit, and Apahu will get up and start leaving.
In Tamleoc, there is someone seeking me. I can feel them. However, I cannot find them myself. I worry that Rurath is watching me, and I do not want him to endanger myself.
She'll nod. I can certainly try to help with this. I should go under Rurath's gaze quite easily.
Yes, I tried to find a way to do it myself, but I am too bright, maybe.
Well, I can try to seek this person out. I don't suppose you know anything about them?
I can meditate upon it and find more. I just have a feeling we have been on the move for quite some time now, and I've not had time to focus on it.
Very well.
Across the street, there is another inn. I want you and Apahu to station yourselves there.
Apahu as well?
Yes, you'll both be working together. I will fill Apahu in on his role later. Right now, I just need him to free Luca from the grasp of the Arorax.
She nods. And then looks like she has something on her mind, and after a moment she'll say, you should... don't know how to put it. Something about Apahu strikes me as a bit shadowed. And while he happily does whatever is requested of him, I don't know how to describe it.
Use any words you wish. There's no need to be diplomatic.
I see everyone else's interest and motivation. I do not understand Apahu.
I believe that it is easy to not understand Apahu. All we did was promise that Apahu would get rich. If he assisted us.
I suppose that is enough for plenty of people.
Are you worried that Apahu is... that is not enough?
I don't know what I worry about. He does not... But perhaps it is not for me to worry about.
Oh, okay, sorry. My internet is like kind of fucking up a little bit too. My assumption is that she responded with, "I don't fucking know," basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, if I can ask him, perhaps. There's no reason for him to hide such information from me.
She'll nod.
And if he is hiding something, then the light will reveal it to me.
And she kind of like wrinkles her nose and makes a face, but then nods.
Do you doubt it?
It seems like he is cloaked in something potent for hiding from such revelatory light. To put it entirely too poetically.
I see. I will bring this up to the others. If you would feel safer, then you do not need to work with Apahu.
I do not mean to suggest that I feel threatened.
I am sorry if I was reading into that a little too much.
No.
Your dedication is incredible. And when you find this person, I know that your ultimate destiny is not to follow me forever. You are able to make your own decisions as you wish. But I appreciate everything you've done for me so far.
She kind of smiles. It's almost like It's almost a little bit sad. And she says, "This is rather closer to my own choice than I've been able to stray in a long time."
Well, hopefully we can save the world with it, so.
An excellent bonus.
Well, I will keep you no longer. Spread the light, Asilia.
She'll nod.
Oh, also, there's a catfolk who is a guard, Sandra of the Gondaman. You may have been introduced to her already.
Yes, we met earlier briefly.
If she is looking for something to do, maybe you can take her along?
Gondaman will draw some attention in Tamleoc, but she could be useful. She certainly knows how to sneak around.
You may do as you wish. I give you full reign over this operation. I will do my best to keep all eyes on me.
Perhaps it will be easy to keep a drow and a Gondaman out of sight.
Isha just kind of like silently nods her head and turns around and leaves. If it doesn't feel like she has anything more to say to her, I guess.
I think, like, to herself, kind of like a contemplative way, she says, like, part of an old like Denalan prayer, almost just like musing over it. She says, "The light shines through the thickest bough."
And reveals those underneath.
She kind of tilts her head and nods. Just thinks for a moment as you leave, and then she'll start getting ready to take care of things and get on her way.
Oh, I leave her some money so that she can stay in that inn.
Okay.
I'll give her a platinum.
All right. She will take that and use it. Let's see. Anyone else have anything they would like to do at the tower? Anything they'd like to discuss with each other?
If I find Turris, I will inform him of Basilius' suspicions.
And Turris is presently muted.
Hello.
Asilia believes that
Yes.
maybe that Apahu is a weak link, perhaps.
Weak link? In what way?
In the way that she maybe doesn't understand his motivation. She also speaks of a shadow that hangs over him. But
Furls his brow.
It is possible that this is just the drow themselves have a sunlight tolerance that is not very good, so... Right, I know that she was like talking about she can like see auras and she can like see a shadow aura, but I kind of like don't really know what to do with that information right now because I kind of need a Pahu.
Very fair.
Do you wish for me to speak to him?
I don't want to draw more attention to a Pahu if he is trying to avoid notice. I do think that there will be a more natural opportunity. I have him, Astilia, and one of the new visitors to the tower.
Oh,
It's a catfolk guard, Sandra of the Goneman. She was one of the ones who tried to arrest us at Oriel's place.
oh, splendid.
I do believe that if they see anything out of ordinary, they will tell us. But I don't see a reason to move now.
Very
I
well.
just wanted you to know that perhaps something will need to be done in the future.
Very well.
I do Sunder. No, I didn't spell it like that, but I do prefer Sandra.
Same.
I
I just realized it could very much sound like just Sandra. You know?
No, I did this.
Yeah.
I did this. I just didn't want you to be surprised if one day you find that he's a pile of ashes.
I don't think we need to take it that far, but
No, this is why I came to tell you before.
very well. Perhaps we should seek to make sure that doesn't happen.
I will inform you if it continues to be a problem. I was the one who offered him to be here, and I will ensure that no harm comes to you.
I'm not worried about that. I simply mean that unless he means the most ill intent, if it's not that, then we can simply dismiss him.
I don't know if it will be so simple. But we can remain hopeful, I guess.
Splendid. I shall defer to you on this then.
Isha will bow to you.
Oh.
From one guardian to another.
Just will give like a warm smile and nod his head.
Also, I'm having a Pahu find us a stable master. And someone who is not Luca to deal with the Voraktee. I just didn't want you to be surprised when things changed.
Oh, no. All are welcome here at Tower Ironcrad, of course.
I do believe that as the world gets darker, that more people will pray for light and they will come here. That is how Sandra came here. And Isha kind of like, as she is saying this, I guess we're probably in the courtyard, maybe.
Yeah.
She'll like look up at the top of the tower.
Looks up and then kind of looks back at Isha and be like, why didn't you just say that in the first place?
Not to be rude, but I didn't know if I could trust you.
I thought we're all allies against the Seraph, you know.
Yes, but that does not mean you can trust one another.
Kind of like frowns and tilts his head a bit and kind of harumphs a bit. I see no reason not to trust you, at least. Despite you being cagey once in a while, but...
It is in my nature. So
I
I
suppose so.
apologize for that.
Yeah, it's quite fine.
Okay, well, I have nothing more to report. It was nice talking to you. Light guide you, Einkrad. And she will leave.
Has Ironcrad ever heard Isha say light guide you?
I'm not sure.
Yes, you have actually.
Oh.
At the church where we were waiting for, we thought that Regent and his party were going. I guess I said light protect you to the guy. But, like, this is basically the same saying, so.
Right. Taurus will see this as a positive interaction and smile as he goes to check on the Arumvaract.
So, out in the yard, the Arumvarax has... There's like a small collection of metal already, like in a kind of in the corner behind the guardhouse, like where the guardhouse meets the wall. There's like a little pile of like metal scraps that have already been kind of like chewed on or like partially eaten. At some point, there's like a couple of like drag marks from something heavy, and there's just like an old kind of cracked, maybe previously cracked, maybe cracked by the Arumvarax, but anvil that's just been like dragged out there and like tipped over on the side, and the Arumvarax is like laying partially on top of it and like chewing on just a big hunk of it at the moment. So like already gnawed through probably like a third of the horn of the anvil. But it's keeping it busier than all the little trinkets that have been given to it.
Oh, good. Is anyone else around, or is it just kind of just straight up chilling?
Just chilling. There's no one else around at the moment. Yeah, it seems folks are giving it a wide berth at the moment. Let me rearrange. And a list of followers here real quick. So we don't actually think Katota, Nahia, and Marcerina are like out for anything right now, right?
No, Marcerina went with the Dwarf King to the Giants.
Yeah.
And then they came back. Nahia and Katota went with Asilia to Konnor,
Yes.
and they're back.
So I will have to make a token for Sandra, and yeah, okay. I thought I had a token for Asilia, but apparently it's not in there right now, so I'll make that again. So I've made note of that. Does anyone have any tasks for any of the other folks? I think I mentioned it when they got back, but where'd they go? I have just lost my list of tower people.
That's crazy.
Nahia and Katota, after their couple of sets of missions, are going to be they're leveling on up. They were already kind of behind you guys, but they are a high level of 4 at the moment. Then we'll keep leveling up here and there. To be fair, they both started out as like level 0 and 1. Apahu's probably level 4 now, too. So yeah, any other tasks that anyone would like to send anyone out on? Anything they'd like to catch up on? Otherwise, we'll probably just end early tonight. Since the several bits of story that I could touch on are adjacent to Steris or directly related to Steris, so I don't want to hop on too much of that stuff, and don't want to start the lookout for Regent and friends without Sarah here either.
Yeah, I don't have anything specific. I don't want to distract. Basically, I'm not going to talk to Luca till after I get him freed from his Voraktee
Okay.
captor.
All right. And you have not been shown. I'm pretty sure the only people who have seen the note that I put in chat are.
Yeah, I don't know about the symbol. I'm not educated about it, as it were.
That makes sense. Yeah, I think the only people who have seen it are Turris and Steris.
Correct.
Okay, we'll cover that next time. And yeah. For now, I don't think I have anything else. We will probably pick it up after a rest next time, starting on the next day. See if anyone wants to. If anyone thinks of any tasks for their for the followers, and then we'll see what's going on in Tamleoc tomorrow. Next week, tomorrow. You know what I mean.
Any XP for today?
I think there will be a chunk of story.
622.
There will be a chunk of story-related XP coming, but not at present.
We debated
Rurath.
we could have killed him.
We didn't fight.
I believe
the Arumbaraks.
that I already gave you XP for
Again.
not fighting the Arumbaraks. I believe that already happened once.
No, Rurath.
Oh,
We didn't fight
you didn't.
Rurath.
Right. Every person
Yeah.
that you're in a room with and don't murder is XP. I forgot.
Yeah. No, specifically Rurath,
Oh,
because
okay.
we could have
I
fought
mean,
him.
if you want us to turn into murder hobos, we can.
Would we have gotten XP for killing Rurath if we had fought
You
Rurath?
would not have killed Rurath.
That seems like a pigeonholing to me, but okay. Okay, Egwin then.
I throw Turris at Rurath.
Much like
Pick him up and throw him.
you
out.
wouldn't get XP for
Okay.
randomly
BRB.
killing your
I will be BRB. after
Okay.
P.
randomly killing people friendly to you will not get you XP.
I don't know if Rurath's
Is
that
he-
friendly to me.
Is
I
he
don't know.
friendly?
Yeah, I don't know.
Eh,
Would you put him in the friend column?
would put him in the friendly-ish, the friendlish column.
He wants us to fight in his army. I want him to fight in my army.
It is a bit of a conflict there. Conflict of something. Interest? I don't know. Conflict of ideas, of plans. Who knows? Well, thank you guys for playing today.
Hey, thanks for running.
For running.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't have too many backup shenanigans to cover for internet gaps. But I had a good time.
I finally got to introduce Shatar to everybody.
Yes. One day, perhaps, you will find an opponent who can keep up with Minotaur fortitude for the purposes of Shatar.
Just bring Batzorg in.
True,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. It's like, why don't Bad Zorg and Turkin fight
I think they'd have a good
in
game.
this game?
I think the rage gives Turkon an edge. Batsrig is not a berserk, not a barbarian. And just I don't know, being angry seems like it would help in this game.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
I should have taken that feat that gives me like concentration whenever I'm raging.
I only have patience for this game when I'm super mad. Right. Well, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. I think it seems like folks were fairly interested in the Mythic Destiny thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, think about those. We'll implement them at a time when it makes sense. So think about it a little bit, have it in your mind, and the point when you get to implement that might be sprung on you rather suddenly. So feel free to talk to me about anything related to that you'd like.
Okay, I'm back.
Welcome back. Shit. I forgot you stepped away.
I had to go pee really bad.
Okay. Well, we're wrapping up. I was just saying thanks for playing, and also think about the Mythic Destinies that we probably will implement that at a point approaching.
Yeah, I heard all that.
Okay.
I just was yeah, I guess after you're done streaming, I have a few questions, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I will go shut it down, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
And I gotta head out, so I'll talk to you guys later.
Catch you later. Thanks
Later,
for playing.
Bill. Thanks for playing.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Alrighty, everyone. Thank you for hanging out for Pathfinder. We are going to shut it down. I'm not going to raid anyone today. Selfishly, I will be back in a couple of hours? Like 2.5 hours. I will be back working on music, but I have a couple of other things I have to do before then. So I will be taking a break first, and then I will see you in a bit. See you in a couple of hours. There will be another announcement in the Discord. Feel free to join the Discord if you'd like to get that announcement. I will put the command in the chat. There's also a place where you can react to specific roles if you want to get mentioned, if you want to get pinged for a specific streams or events such as Monster Hunter or Pathfinder or music are kind of the three that I'm looking at so far. And maybe like an ARPG thing for Path of Exile, Last Epoch, etc. Thank you again for swinging on by. Hope you will swing by again for music later. And I'll see you all again real soon. Have a good weekend if I don't catch you later. And a wonderful night either way. Goodbye.